What's up everyone, it's Sam here, back again from the Laurel Lounge, and today we have a different type of video for you. It's actually going to be an unboxing video, and this one's going to be the Cyberpunk 2020 role-playing game. I thought it might be a kind of a cool way to kick off our Cyberpunk series. There's so much lore that has to do with this this game, and with Cyberpunk 2077 just around the corner, and by just around the corner I mean, maybe a year away or something, but hopefully we're going to see footage at this year's E3. I thought, why not go through my Cyberpunk collection so some people could kind of see what it's about. Specifically, this one's going to be about the initial role-playing game itself. Now, I picked this box set up from a used bookstore near my house, along with a lot of the series, and I also found a lot online as well. So as you can see, you had the box there. When you break it open, you have the manual all ready to go. The manual has so many cool little tidbits about all the different weapons and stuff like that. There's how to do net running. Here's like stuff about vehicles, a lot of different characters they break down, and they give like backstories and ideas, so when you want to make your own characters, you can do it. Also, like here in the back, it has different companies even, and the little histories of companies, profiles of people, the actual corporations themselves. I mean, it's really a pretty cool guide to go off of, and that's just the first book. I mean, there's so many in the series. Just looking at this, you could tell there's so much lore and depth. Now for Cyberpunk 2077, I'm sure they're going to be getting into this and a lot more, hopefully too, that Mike Pondsmith is on the team. So right here we have Friday Night Firefight, which is the interlock system that's actually used for the game itself. It's a little bit hard to get a grasp of right now since there's so many good systems out. If you're not used to playing role-playing games, it could be a little tough to get into, but it doesn't mean it's unplayable or anything like that by far. Just going to take a little more to get into. And we also have the little stuff in the back of the book here that shows you, like, you attach it to your character sheets, so when you're actually doing the fighting, it's really easy to keep track of. This one actually came with some, someone that must have owned the game before and was playing, so I thought it was good examples for me to kind of look into. I'm still pretty new to role-playing games myself, so as you can see here, some of the extra sheets that came with and whatnot, and it's pretty fun. If you haven't played a role-playing game, this might be one of those ones that you might want to pick up and run a game with. Next here would be just a little guide, View from the Edge, which is like just a little side handbook that's kind of an abbreviated version, to me at least, of the initial guide. Now this also had, as you could see, stuff for net running, because that's one of the harder things to get a hold of. That's almost on a game all on its own. And then more lore, stuff about drugs, different notes, little quick guide on the back that shows you all the stuff you might need to know about fighting. Then here we have another source book to Night City. Night City actually has its own full guidebook, but this one's a really good one that's just a quick guide that'll tell you a couple things about the different lifestyles, the different characters, how they might play. It gives you a bunch of encounters, good ideas, so if you're going to start your own campaign, a bunch of really good ideas to go off of. So that was kind of a cool thing. There was actually a couple of those in there. Then there's a short story that's called When the Chips Are Down, which is another cool little one-off session. So if you're new to role-playing games or you haven't really messed with them too much, most people think it's like a longer campaign. Actually, there's a lot of times where you might sit down with some buddies or friends for just 3 to 4 hours at a time, or even less, and you could run like they call it a one-off. So just get your feet wet or build up a character or something like that. So that's a good way for people to start as well. Here's another one. This is all about different little stories. There's actually cool little advertisements for different stuff in there. So finally, my favorite part of the actual guide, Night City, the map itself. This is really cool. I don't really know anywhere else you can get this. Probably find it on eBay somewhere or something like that, but it is really cool. I'm actually thinking about framing this. It shows the entire Night City. It has the port, it has the stadium, the actual corporate downtown. So when you're playing the game, it's really good to have a map like this, or look in the guidebooks and look at the maps. That way you can visualize it a lot easier. And with Cyberpunk 2077 coming out, this might be kind of a cool way to maybe see how they're planning on doing Night City itself, specifically because Night City is a massive part of the Cyberpunk universe. Now finally, I kept it in plastic just because it came in plastic, but probably one of the cooler parts of the actual box here. Yeah, one of my favorite parts is actually this GM guide here. Really cool. It has weapons lists, attacks, everything that a GM might need on the fly, and it's just a kind of cool little piece in there. A lot of those have been lost over the years, but it's cool to actually find one. So yeah, that's it. That's Cyberpunk for you, and the game looks really cool. Yeah, definitely a really cool game. I absolutely recommend anyone who's into role-playing games check it out. And if you're new to role-playing games, make sure to check it out. With all the games coming out with Cyberpunk 2077 or anything else, this would be a great place for you to start, and a really cool place to find a lot of cool lore and backstory. So that's a quick little rundown of the Cyberpunk 2020 box set for the tabletop role-playing game. If you like this video or you want to see any more unboxings or any other manual overviews or anything like that for RPGs, books, anything like that, make sure to leave it down in the comments. If you like the video, if you don't like the video, let us know. Let us know what you want to hear about. And if you want to hear more from the Cyberpunk series, make sure to check out our playlist and let us know in the comments what you want to hear next, because there's just so much lore that it really is kind of hard to know where to even start with this series. So again, make sure to subscribe. It really, really helps the channel. If you like the content, hit that like button, check out our social medias, and until next time, thank you again so much for joining us here in the Lore Lounge, and I will see you next time.